Well, good morning. This is Frater Ralph with Hermetic Temple Radio, and I'd like to wish all of our listeners out there a happy solstice, a happy Yule, or a Merry Christmas, depending on the holiday that you are celebrating. And today we're going to kind of keep with a seasonal theme, and I've got some Christmas music that I'm going to be playing, and we're going to be talking about meditation. And that's our program for today. 'Tis the season to learn meditation. And what I'm going to do in this broadcast is go through four standard types of meditation that you may or may not have heard of, and then leave you with a fifth method for turning practically anything that you do, any worthwhile, wholesome activity, into a form of meditation. When people think about meditation, usually, we think about, I'm thinking about right now the picture I have on this episode, the avatar for this episode that I picked out, shows an old Hindu guy sitting in a lotus position, back straight, head kind of slightly tilted forward, and just quietly sitting there for maybe an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours, just being at one with the universe. And that's the standard form of sitting meditation that most people think of when we talk about meditation. But actually, there are several different forms of meditation. And what some people do is they'll think that, okay, meditation is something that I really could benefit from and something that I might like to learn, but they try one form of meditation and they don't get into it. For some reason it just doesn't work out for them, and so they just give up on meditation entirely. And that's really, it's really a mistake. It's kind of a sad mistake. Because if one form of meditation does not work for you, there are other forms of meditation that you can choose from. And today we're going to cover these other forms of meditation, starting with the first and basic form of meditation, breath meditation, or as it's also known, mindfulness meditation. But first we're going to kind of get into the Christmas spirit. I'm going to play a carol, God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, and we'll be right back after this. Okay, I'm going to start going through my list here of 4 different forms of meditation. And as I go through this, I'm hoping the listener is going to be thinking to his or herself, hey, I've done something similar to that, and it makes me feel good, but I never thought of calling it meditation. And actually, meditation is not as foreign or as exotic as most of us would like to think. It's actually something that a lot of us tend to do during times of crisis or times of stress to kind of calm ourselves down. And these are simple techniques that probably have been taught to many of us, either by your parents or by your teachers in school. And it's just hasn't been something that's been taught to us as meditation, and it's not something that has been presented to us as a spiritual tool that you should use or could use. I'm going to avoid using the word should, but a spiritual tool that you could use on a daily basis or a regular basis. And the first meditation technique we're going to talk about is breath meditation, also known as mindfulness meditation. And this is where I started out at. To do breath meditation, you don't need any app. You don't need, any special hardware or software. All you need is the ability to breathe and to focus on the breath. In addition to that, you will also need a nice quiet place where you can sit and relax and hopefully not be disturbed for a predetermined length of time. And to get started in breath meditation, you don't need to really focus on any particular length of time. If you want to try to do it for like 20 minutes or 30 minutes or even an hour, you're welcome to do that. Beginners may want to just focus on trying to do it for 10 or 15 minutes. I think that's enough time to kind of get your feet wet in it. And then if you really get into the practice, go ahead and meditate for as long as you would like, as long as you have time for. But, find a nice quiet spot where you're not likely to be disturbed. And, turn off the phones, unplug the landline, turn off the cell phones, and just place yourself in a spot where you're not going to feel self-conscious, people wandering around, coming in unexpectedly. And just find yourself a nice, comfortable, seated position. And this is the other misconception that a lot of people have concerning meditation. Many people think that you have to sit in a lotus position to meditate, or at least a half lotus position. I used to be able to do a lotus position, and then I just got out of the practice for several years, and I'm back to meditating. I've been meditating now for about 10 years, but at my age, it's kind of hard to get my limbs to bend like they used to when I was 20. So I haven't used the lotus meditation for quite a few years. My last 10 years of practice has just been sitting comfortably in a nice, sturdy chair, and that works. And whatever works for you, just put yourself in a position where you are going to be comfortable for the desired length of time, be it 5 minutes or 50 minutes or an hour. And some people, when they meditate, they may require a certain, let's say a certain ambiance about the room. When I first started meditating, I would focus on a candle flame, and I would light a candle to kind of still my mind, kind of get settled in and quiet my spirit. And then I would also play soft, comfortable music. Uh, Gregorian chant, uh, relaxation CDs are great for this. At least that's what I started with. Any kind of new age relaxation CD will also work. Pick out a nice, if you want to do music with your meditation, then pick out just a nice quiet form of music that is going to calm you and help to relax you. Avoid anything like rap music or rock and roll or acid rock, anything with a loud, harsh, jarring rhythm to it. Pick out something soft, something that's going to help soothe the savage beast within, so to speak. And that's really all you need. A nice quiet place to begin your meditation, a comfortable seated position, and then perhaps a candle to focus on. And for this, tea light candles are great. They burn about 4 hours. So if you should get into your meditation and have your eyes closed and not be watching the candle, you don't have to worry about the tea light candle getting away from you and setting the room on fire. Nothing really disturbs your meditation quite like the room suddenly bursting into flames. So if you do use a candle, use a jar candle or something safe. And a tea light candle is great because, they're inexpensive, 10 cents each about, and just put it in a little glass dish or a little glass tea light candle holder, and it burns for about 4 hours. And, that's, if you really get into meditation and you want to go longer, 4 hours is probably about the limit. And so the tea light is a good way to kind of time that as well. But, the music, if you so desire, you can use that. Tea light candle, quiet spot, and a comfortable seated position. And then after that, all you need to do is just focus on your breath. Breathe in deeply. And as you're breathing in, focus on the breath. The breath in this form of meditation will become your primary focus. Beginners may want to use the music and the candlelight kind of like to set the mood. And it's an easy way to kind of get you focused on something other than your own thoughts for a while. And these things may be helpful to the beginner. But after a few minutes of maybe gazing at the candle, if you choose to use that, or listening to the music, if you choose to use that, you will need to begin to shift your focus away from the candle and the music and begin to focus on the breath. It's kind of like meditating in stages. You don't go from like agitated and angry and just upset to just calm and blissful all within 60 seconds. That would be nice if we could do it, but it's highly unrealistic. But what most people do will need after a hard day or before a hard day is they're going to need to kind of calm themselves down in stages. And that's why, I have adopted for me the practice of burning a candle, watching the flame. That's kind of relaxing. Some folks may want to burn a little incense. Incense sticks, incense cones. And again, burn the incense in a safe manner. A good incense holder. And just let the aroma soothe you and calm you down a little bit further. And then the music can also be another stage in this calming process. After you get proficient in meditation, you won't really need all these external things. But for the beginner, especially if you've had a hard, trying day, you may need some external things to kind of focus on to begin the relaxation process. So then after you've become sufficiently relaxed, where now you're sitting comfortably and breathing, become aware of your breath, and just as you breathe in, know that you are breathing in, and actually try to see if you can feel the sensation of the air going into your nostrils. And it is advisable to breathe in and out through your nose. At least breathe in through your nose. Some people with breathing problems, colds, flu, may have difficulty breathing strictly through the nose. So for those people, you can try to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Or even breathe in and out through your mouth if you can't do it through the nose. But I think it's a good practice to try to get into nasal breathing. But as you're breathing in, feel the sensation of the air coming in through your nostrils. And then hold the breath just for a few moments. Not like you're swimming underwater or anything like that, but just hold it for a few moments to allow the oxygen to fill your lungs and just to do what it needs to do within your body. And then after you've held the breath momentarily, exhale. And as you exhale, be aware of the air leaving your body. Try to feel the sensation of the air going out through your nostrils. And when you breathe in, try to fill your lungs as much as you can, without overdoing it. You don't want to overdo it. But just, breathe in fully. And when you exhale, exhale fully. And after you've been doing this for a while, I think you may be amazed at how something that we do every day, every moment of every day, very unconsciously, like breathing, is something that you can become aware of and something that you can feel the sensations from. Sensations that we normally overlook. And that is one way to really delve deeper into any form of meditation. Just become aware of what is going on around you and focus your attention on just one thing. And then after you've really gotten into the meditation period, you can kind of just let your mind go. And this is a point too that is maybe rather difficult for the beginner. When you sit down and you try to get quiet and you try to just focus on the breath or focus on the music or just kind of let your mind go blank, many people, and this is very common, will have the problem of thoughts intruding. Like you're sitting down, you're meditating, You're breathing in, feeling peaceful. You're breathing out, exhaling the tension. And then all of a sudden you just think, why hasn't Bob called me? What's Bob up to? What's with Bob anyway? Why hasn't that guy called me? He owes me money. You know, and this is very common. Intrusive thoughts will come in any form of meditation, and it takes a while to try to get a handle on those intrusive thoughts. When this happens, not if it happens, but when it happens, just smile when you realize that you're doing it, and just let it go. And then just get yourself focused on your breath once again, and just, start all over again, as it were. And this is why I advise people to have patience with themselves when they practice meditation, because you're going to have periods like this. And some folks may want to just sit down and meditate for a half hour, and they have so much problems, with these intrusive thoughts, coming in from just nowhere practically. And, these things interrupt their meditation, and they may find that in a half-hour meditation practice, they may only be getting 2 or 3 minutes of quality meditation time without the intrusive thoughts intruding on their practice. And if that happens to you, that's fine. Don't focus on the length of time that you successfully meditate. If all you can do is like 1 or 2 minutes of just being at one with the universe, let that be sufficient. It takes time to develop the practice of meditation. And just be patient with it. The more you do it, the easier it will become. Kind of like anything else in life. The more you do it, the more you practice, the better you get at it. And so, if you can't focus on the breath for a full 10 minutes or 5 minutes, just be happy with 1 or 2 minutes or even 15 seconds. And then when you try to do meditation again for your second session or third session or fourth session, just try to go a little bit longer. And the more you try to do it, eventually the easier it will become. But with breath meditation or mindfulness meditation, ultimately your primary focus is going to be on the breath. As you inhale, know that you are inhaling, and just think what a wonderful thing it is to be able to breathe. And then let that air remain in your body, and then exhale again, thinking what a wonderful thing it is to be able to exhale. And just get into the breath. And after a while, once you calm the mind, and your mind is focusing on the breath, eventually your mind will tire, kind of get bored, and then no longer will your mind be focusing on the breath. Your mind will begin to go into an altered state of consciousness, the meditative state of mind, in which you will be, at least for a few precious moments, at one with the universe. And it's kind of hard to explain, but once you've gotten to that state, you know how great and worthwhile and beneficial it is. And that's one form of meditation. Now, I'm going to play another song. This is a little instrumental piece, Joy to the World. And then I'll be back with mantra meditation. Our second form of meditation that I'm going to cover today is mantra meditation. And in mantra meditation, it's similar to breath meditation, only you don't really focus on the breath, rather you focus on a certain prayer word or mantra, whatever you want to call it. And it doesn't even have to be a word. It can be like a vowel sound, a syllable. I think the most common mantra or vowel vowel sound that people in the West anyway are familiar with is Om. You know, you can picture Buddhist monks sitting down or New Agers sitting down and just going Om. Om. And I just did that for like a couple of minutes, not even a full minute, I don't think. And I mean, I can feel the vibration, in my head. And that's one benefit of mantra meditation, is that you do kind of vibrate after a while to a certain frequency. And depending on what you would like to accomplish, if that's the right word to use, I don't like using that word, but if that's what you would like to accomplish in your meditation, or what you would like to benefit from, depending on what you want to benefit from, you can try a variety of different vowel sounds, and you can actually go on the internet and research, different vibrations to accomplish different ends, like clearing the chakras, healing the body, relaxation, attaining certain stages of awakening or enlightenment. There's a whole science behind this. I'm not going to get into that right now, but just to introduce the listener to mantra meditation, there are a wide variety of mantras that you can use. You can do the Om, if you're comfortable with that, if you like it. I like to do, you can use a lot of different vowel sounds. I like to use oo. For example, the U sound. Ooh. And you can try other vowel sounds. Depending upon your religious or spiritual tradition, you may want to pick out a prayer word that resonates with you. Something that really speaks to you, like, love, peace, faith, harmony. I like using small words, but, one or two syllables. But, you can use harmony too. You can use love. For example, okay. Love. And then if you want to get a little more complicated, you can try harmony. Harmony. And, virtually any word that really speaks to you, any vowel sound, any particular rhythm, you can use. And just go with it. And as in breath meditation, where we focused on the breath and began to draw our attention exclusively to the breath for a little while, in mantra meditation, instead of focusing on the breath, you're focusing on the mantra. And eventually, after a while, after you've been chanting the mantra for a certain length of time, and for each person that's going to be different, your mind will slowly kind of tire and will begin to put the cares of the day aside, and you'll just begin to veg out and get into that altered state of consciousness where your mind is at first focusing on the mantra and then just begin to focus on nothing. Just allow the universe to commune with you. And again, this takes practice. This takes a little bit of time. But once you start to get into it, it'll become easier and easier. And so if you have trouble getting into breath meditation, try mantra meditation. And actually, I kind of like mantra meditation because you begin to feel that vibration within your body. And, it just helps to further calm and relax you and get you feeling in tune, at one, in harmony with the universe. And that is the primary purposes, as I see it, of meditation, is to just begin to feel at one with the universe. And I know to folks that don't meditate, that's going to sound kind of silly. But after you've actually had this experience, you realize that it's not silly at all. It's actually quite beneficial and quite important. And once you begin to experience this feeling of oneness with the universe, you'll begin to wonder, what did I ever do before I began this practice? I'm going to take another break and come back and talk about, walking meditation. And before that, play this little piece, What Child Is This? Okay, to kind of recap, in breath meditation, we focus on the breath until the mind kind of gets tired of focusing on the breath, and then it kind of lulls itself into an altered state of consciousness and begins to reach that meditative state. Mantra meditation, very similar to breath meditation, except instead of the breath, you're focusing on your mantra or your prayer word. Now we're going to do walking meditation, and for this, you are not necessarily going to focus on the breath, although I think that's a good way to kind of, get settled down. But here we're going to shift the attention to your feet, to the act of walking in and of itself. And kind of think about this, when we breathe, okay, we do it unconsciously. When we walk, we do it unconsciously. Some people, when they talk, they do it unconsciously too. But we can take these activities, breathing, chanting, walking, virtually any activity, and turn it into a form of meditation. And in walking meditation, that's what we're going to do. You focus your attention on walking. And with breath meditation and mantra meditation, you may want to do it with your eyes closed. And I think it's beneficial to do it with your eyes closed. But when we're talking about walking meditation, I would suggest keeping your eyes wide open during the process. Perhaps not wide open, but just be aware of your surroundings so you don't walk into anything or bump into anything or anyone. This is going to sound kind of humorous, but I have heard stories of Buddhist monks of the forest tradition who would be practicing walking meditation, and they would get so deep into their walking meditation that they would close their eyes and kind of relax, be at one with the universe, and then suddenly just walk straight into a tree. And that can kind of ruin your meditation practice right there, at least maybe jolt you out of that meditative state. But yeah, it is possible to do that, and it has been done. I've practiced walking meditation with a group, came close to bumping into the person next to me a few times. So yeah, when you get into walking meditation, I would suggest keeping your eyes open and definitely remain aware of your surroundings. But when you do walking meditation, kind of think of it as taking a peaceful walk through nature, like on a nature trail. If you've ever done that, you know how relaxing that can be. Just walking through nature, listening to the birds, watching the trees, seeing a squirrel run by, simple things like that. And in walking meditation, you just focus on the simple act of walking. Something that you do every day, completely unaware. This time, you're going to focus on being aware that you are walking. Start at a standing position and then put your right foot forward, left foot forward, depending on whether you're right-handed or left-handed, whatever feels comfortable for you. But let's just say you're going to start with your right foot forward. Yeah, put your right foot forward, feel it touch the ground, be aware that your foot has touched the ground. And you can take it a little bit further. Put your right foot forward, feel the ball of your foot hit the floor, and then come down on the main part of your foot, and then feel your toes. on the ground, on the carpet, however you're doing it, wherever you're doing it. And then repeat that practice for your left foot. And the key here is focusing on your footfalls. And just as you walk, be aware that I'm walking and it is a pleasant sensation. My left foot is on the ground. My right foot is on the ground. Left ball of my heel is on the ground. I feel my toes. Now I feel my right foot, the right ball of my foot, my right toes are touching the ground. And you don't have to be saying this to yourself, but just kind of giving a little example of becoming aware of your footfalls. And just do it slowly and purposely. And feel yourself walking, and just focus your attention on that simple act of walking. And in this form of walking meditation, it's not like you're running a marathon. You're not trying to get anywhere. You are just trying to bring yourself fully into the moment. And that is the key to all forms of meditation. Allowing yourself to be in the present moment. We are not striving to walk from Boston to Chicago. We are just perfectly happy, perfectly content where we are right now. And even if you're just walking in a shopping mall or walking back and forth in a small room, just be in the present moment and be in your present location. So many times in life, we focus on going places. We're not happy with where we are in life. We want to leave. Sometimes we want to run. Sometimes you want to pull your hair and run out through the door screaming and shouting. But in walking meditation, we learn to appreciate where we are. It may not be perfect, but it's good enough for now. It's a nice place to be. And when you get into the present moment, that state of realizing that time is an illusion, and the only thing that matters is the present moment, the now. And you begin to realize that nothing exists except what is now. At least nothing exists for you except what is now. And allow yourself to be in that now, in that present moment. And appreciate where you are, your physical location. And think how wonderful it is to be able to be in this living room, in this studio, in this shopping mall. And what a privilege it is to be where I can walk back and forth, in circles, whatever. What a privilege it is to be able to walk and just get into that act of walking. And once you attain the ability to really appreciate the present moment, and to be able to say to yourself, this place where I'm at right now, I may not want to be here in the next 10 years or the next 5 years, but for now, for this present moment, this is good. And when you can be focused and content with where you are and what simple things you have, then you have begun to feel the peace that is meditation. I'm going to play another song, this one, "O Holy Night," and then I'm going to talk about craft meditation and the Be Here Now meditation. I have a friend who's a fellow monk, and he's a Franciscan monk who really surprised me a few years ago. I was talking about meditation, thinking, oh, great, what a wonderful thing it is. And I was kind of wondering what form of meditation he practiced. I mean, it never crossed my mind that he was not a person who was not into meditation. I just naturally assumed you're a monk, you meditate. But in his religious tradition, I can't say this of all Franciscans. I first learned how to meditate from listening to a Franciscan. But this particular monk was not into meditation. He didn't like meditation. It was just too quiet. He was more of an active man. He likes to really get out there and do stuff. And the idea of just sitting quietly in a chair for more than just 20 minutes at a time, it's just didn't appeal to him. But as we chatted, as we kind of got to know one another a little bit better, he did say that there was something that he did that was very similar to meditation. And it's something that I'm going to present here as an alternative form of meditation. He was very much into building and crafting and designing. I mean, the man is a marvelous architect. He's designed cabins at his retreat center. He's, gone out there and dug by hand with a shovel and a wheelbarrow to kind of excavate ground. He gets into landscaping. He loves all the little details of doing a project and planning out the project and really getting deep into the project. He used an analogy once, speaking of his form of what I'm going to call crafting meditation. And he said he was building an altar, and he was getting inside that altar to kind of do some work internally in that altar. And he was really focused on the job at hand and just doing it out of love. And the realization hit him that he was deep inside that altar, building it from the inside, from within. And the realization just hit him. How more into a project can you get than just crawling right inside your creation and tinkering with it and building it from within? And that was his way of delving within to explore his inner space, as it were. And that was by getting deeply into his craft, his building, his hobby, whatever you want to call it. And, I mean, he's a carpenter. I don't know if he paints. It would not surprise me. I guess I need to ask him. But no, he likes to landscape, build, just plan things out, and just doing virtually any craft of any kind, is really what brings him joy and brings him peace. And my wife does something similar to this as a form of meditation, one that she practices consciously. She loves to crochet. And so she'll sit down on the couch and just be doing her crochet. And as she's doing one stitch, she'll be focused on that stitch. And as she goes into another stitch, she'll be focused on that stitch. And whatever your craft may be, whatever your hobby may be, whatever you do that brings you joy, that brings you peace, that makes you feel good within, focus on that activity as you're doing it. The whole key to this is being present while you are doing whatever it is that you're doing. Don't just do it for the sake of getting it done, getting it over with. In our culture, we tend to be very much focused on results. We see everything as a means to an end. In meditation, we are not focused on an end. Meditation is not a means to an end. A lot of times we treat it like it is. A lot of people say, I want to meditate because I want to find inner peace. Or some people will say, I have high blood pressure, I have circulation problems, I have all kinds of physical ailments, and I want to learn to meditate so I can heal myself. And others will say, I want to be enlightened by this time next Tuesday, so train me, teach me. And we treat meditation as if it's a means to an end. What we need to do is get to a new state of mind where we see meditation as an end in itself. We meditate for the love of meditation. And when we're doing craft meditation, whether it's painting or sculpting, making clay pots, stringing beads, even thumbing through your stamp or coin collection, whatever the activity is, view it not as a means to an end, but just as an end in itself. Be happy and satisfied doing the activity that you are doing. And that's why, craft meditation can be very beneficial for folks who have trouble doing other kinds of meditation. The idea of just sitting quietly and breathing or chanting or even walking back and forth may seem very, very dull to some people. And for people who are of more of an active state of mind, meditation is still a very real possibility. Just take something that you like to do and turn it into your form of meditation. And again, the entire key is this, as you're doing your craft, do it out of love. That's another form of meditation that I've skipped over. Metta meditation. Meditation that focuses on love and cultivating the state of love and the feeling of love within your life. But you can do that through craft meditation too. When you're doing your hobby, do it out of love. What was his name? Bob Ross? Painter, wonderful painter. A few years ago was on PBS quite a bit. Still sells a lot of painting supplies and painting kits. And that's the way he would do his painting. Just, hey, be in the moment. Do this out of love. And what he was doing on that show, it just now struck me. That could be taken as a form of meditation. And the same applies to candle making. Whatever you find pleasurable and whatever makes you happy in this life. But the key, again, be in the present moment as you're doing it. Don't do it unconsciously. Be aware that you're doing it. Be focused. Be here now. And don't be doing it just to get it done. That's another thing that we hear. Get her done. Gotta get her done. Get her done. I'm not making any money on this job. Gotta get her done. Get out of here. Yeah. And don't have that attitude that we have to do this just to get it over with, just to get her done. But just do it out of love and feel the joy in the doing of that activity. And you can do that with virtually any craft. My wife does it with crochet. She's learning how to knit. She does drawings. She's a little bit of an artist. Does a lot of hand drawings. And my other friend, a monk, not too far away from us, likes to build retreat houses and crawl inside of altars and just get into all kinds of carpentry and anything else that really needs to be done around the place. But again, he doesn't do it just to get it over with. He does it out of love. And that is the key. And when you're doing meditation, just do it out of love. Love for the universe. Love for yourself. And nurture that love. There's another form of meditation, and this is even broader than craft meditation. And it's very similar to craft meditation. In craft meditation, you do your hobby, whatever craft you like to do, and you turn it into a form of meditation by being in the present moment. Well, you can take that same mindset, that same basic technique, and do anything, turn anything that you normally do into a form of meditation. When you get up in the morning and brush your teeth, as you're brushing your teeth, again, that's an activity that most of us do just to, get it done, get it over with. But you can turn it into a form of meditation. The trick is, be fully present while you're brushing your teeth. Focus on each individual tooth, if you will. Feel the sensation of the toothbrush on your gums. And as it sweeps over each tooth, be aware that you are brushing your teeth. And do it out of love. I'm doing this activity because it helps me to have a healthy body. Helps me to have healthy gums. If I brush my teeth more properly, maybe fewer of my teeth will fall out. And just be present. And do it not really just for the sake of doing it, but just do it out of love. Same thing, that this can be a little more difficult, but same thing when you're giving your dog a bath. That may not be a very pleasant task, either for the dog or for you. But if you're able to get into it, just be aware when you're giving your dog a bath that you are giving the dog a bath. And do it out of love. And be in that moment. And when you're cooking, if you're one of those people who still knows how to cook, as you're chopping carrots, be aware that you're chopping the carrots. When you're skinning potatoes or washing potatoes, be in that moment. And I think you will find, if you want to apply this, what I'm going to call, I forget who originated the phrase. Ram Dass, I think, spoke pretty extensively on this. But the be here now state of mind. And that is key to meditation. Just be in the present moment. Be doing whatever it is you're doing, even if it's just sitting. Be in that sitting. And just be fully present. Be aware. If you really think about it, we spend so much of our life doing things unconsciously, almost as if we're on automatic pilot, almost like we've been pre-programmed by our environment, by our surroundings, to do, certain things. Most people, they get up, they get out of bed, they stumble into the kitchen, they make coffee. They're not really fully aware what they're doing, they're just doing it. And it's the same way with a lot of other activities. I brush my hair, I'm not really present while I'm brushing my hair. Brush my teeth, not really present. Driving, getting into the car, driving to work, I'm not really there. I'm listening to the radio and focused on a million different things. And a lot of times, not only do we do things totally unconsciously, but we are not really focused on the present moment. Our mind is either thinking about the past or worrying about the future. And very, very rarely are we really focused on the present moment. And when we begin to focus on the present moment, we will begin to realize that the now is really the only time that we have. The past is gone. That's a done deal. Right now, we don't have the technology to step into a time machine and go back and undo all that stupid, silly, crazy stuff that we've done in the past. And the future is something that has not yet unfolded. So we really can't do a whole lot about that either. But the one moment of time, a time beyond time, that we have, that we can work with, that we can use, is the present moment. This now. And when you touch the now, embrace the now, you begin to realize that this is a moment in eternity. And that is one of the fruits of meditation. We break that habit of ruminating about the past. We break that habit of worrying about the future. And we come to appreciate, fully appreciate what we have right now, who we are right now, and where we are right now in this present moment. And a lot of people, they may want to learn meditation to become like the Buddha. Christians who want to focus on meditation or contemplative prayer, they may want to become more like Jesus, become more Christ-like. And other people may want to meditate so they can lose 50 pounds. I haven't figured out how to do that yet. If anybody out there knows a meditation where you can lose 50 pounds in 50 days, let me know. Maybe be fully conscious while I'm eating would be a good step. But no, a lot of people are focused on meditating because they want to become something different, something better. And self-improvement is a good goal, don't get me wrong. But self-love is also a good goal, and I think a far superior goal. And once we learn an appropriate level of self-love, then everything else will begin to fall into place, and that self-improvement will begin. But the key is, again, being in the present moment and loving yourself the way you are. Be satisfied. Be content with where you are, when you are, and who you are. And be patient with yourself and love yourself as you go through the development process that is this life. And as you go into the practice of meditation, be content with where you are. Don't try to rush it. Don't try to go from zero to nirvana in just 60 minutes. Just be patient. At the appropriate time, everything will fall into place. So there's 4, maybe even 5 different methods of meditation. And if one doesn't work well for you, then move on to something that does work. And each of us are slightly different. We're wired a little differently. Some will be perfectly happy to sit in a chair for 60 minutes or a full lotus position for 2 or 3 hours and meditate on their breath or do mantra. Other folks, may like to do knitting, crochet, painting, may like to throw clay balls around the house. Whatever it is that you like to do, whatever it is that you have to do, you can turn it into a form of meditation. So, be creative with it. Be careful with it. Now, one thing I didn't mention, I once tried driving a car into a form of meditation. And that is not something that I would advise. You might get so calm, so relaxed, so into the present moment, you may start drifting off to sleep, and that is not a good thing to be doing while you're driving a car. So, play it safe when you're being creative with your meditation too. Driving a car, probably not the best time to meditate. And when you're walking, if you're doing walking meditation, keep your eyes open and, beware of trees and other people. So, other than that, though, I think the sky's the limit. Just be creative and find a form of meditation that works for you. I'm going to wrap up this broadcast. My next broadcast, I think we're going to try to do that later on this evening. We'll kind of see how we do on time and how other activities go throughout the day. But we're going to do more of a jazz musical format. And we're going to be talking about ghosts. Do ghosts exist? And if so, what do we do about them? Get a little metaphysical later on, perhaps this evening, and be playing some jazz by Michael Goudray, I believe is his name. And until then, wish you a blessed, peaceful day. Wish you well in your practice of meditation. And if you've enjoyed this program, you can go ahead and donate. You can go to our website at www.hermetictemple.com. And once there, you will find a little bit of information about our Temple of the Infinite Universe. And we have a donate button there. And you can read up on us, do whatever you'd like. And if you'd like to contact me, I'm becoming aware now that some folks have been trying to contact me. You can reach me directly by my email. And I'm going to put that in the program description right after we finish this broadcast. That email address is hermetictemple@gmail.com. And if you'd like to contact me, any questions, comments, any particular needs, I'd be happy to hear from you. If you'd like to chat on the phone, we can hook up via Skype or landlines or cell phone lines. send me an email with your concern and your phone number, and yeah, we can get in touch and we can chat, and I'd love to hear from you. So until later, have a blessed day, and I wish you well. Take care. I'm going to close out now with "Oh Holy Night." Did we already play that? How about "It Came Upon a Midnight Clear"? That's a good one to end on. And until later, Merry Christmas.